So good morning, everyone. Today we have a little bit of a different project. Of course, we're working on the Jeep again. However, there's two things that have always annoyed me. One, years ago, before I really started lifting the Jeep as you see it today, I had my exhaust crack. So what I did is I put a Banks Monster exhaust. Now the exhaust sounds really good outside the Jeep, and inside there's not too much drone except at the speed I drive, which is about 50, 60. There's a good amount of drone in there. Not as much as a lot of other exhausts, but enough to get to a little bit on longer trips. Above 60, it starts going away. So usually I keep it above 60, but it'd be nice if we could cut that down. The other thing is, as you guys know, I have pretty big tires on my Jeep, and there is road noise that comes with that. So today, what I think we're going to do is we are going to install some of that sound deadening material. We're going to see if it actually helps. I've heard that it won't help in a setting like this, only because that's really meant for higher pitched noises to like deaden like tinny. But Jeeps don't really have any insulation in them other than a carpet kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a test drive, and we're just going to use my phone. It's the only thing I have. We're going to put an app on it. We're going to measure the sound level in the Jeep, and then we'll bring it in the garage and tear it all apart, put the sound deadening material in, and put it all back together, and then we'll go and test it again. It's kind of an unofficial iPhone, whatever sound test. Try to see if we can hear the difference, and I'll let you guys know too if I can actually hear the difference. Trying to be as non-biased as possible. So, okay, without further ado, let's go for a test drive, and that way you guys can get a feel for the noise and the decibel level, roughly, inside the Jeep. Okay, let's go. Okay, so there's cruising speed downhill, so let's record. So there we go, there's our baseline. That's 50 miles an hour. It gets a little louder the faster you go, but we'll use 50 mile an hour as our baseline. So let's get back to the garage and let's start ripping everything out so we can get this stuff installed. Okay, so we got done prepping the inside. As you saw, it was very dirty under there, which is probably pretty average for most Jeeps that haven't been cleaned under the carpet. But I actually had a few little tiny surfaced rust spots starting to develop, so I went ahead and knocked that down and just took care of it while we were there, so we don't have to worry about it. And the paint is dry now. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is the brand I went with, Noco Black. I think that's how you say it. 80 millimeter thick. I went with black because my Jeep's black and the carpet's black. It's the same price. This stuff is thick, and I'll tell you what, this box is heavy, like really heavy. I don't have any experience with this stuff, just to forewarn you, but yeah, this stuff is thick and heavy, and it comes in these sheets like this. It's not that expensive. I think I got 36 square feet was what came in this box. But yeah, so what we're going to do, I didn't buy the roller that you're supposed to get. I'm just going to use like the back of this thing, I think, and just push it down. Whatever works. I think that will work. And then I'm going to get a scissors and just cut sheets. This actually might be a whole lot for my Jeep, since I'm not actually doing where the drawer is, since I think the drawer gives some good sound deadening anyway. So, okay, well, let's, I guess all of this is to get to it. Let's start laying it in and see what happens. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down. These are actually really long. There are 3 of these size put together, basically. So I'm going to cut them down to this size so it's easier for me to work, because I also don't want to cover these drain plugs. Not that I ever expect to get water in my Jeep that much, but in the event it ever does happen, I want to be able to pop the plugs out. So I'm going to use smaller sheets like this to get it where I want it, and then I'll just cut those out with a knife or something. But first I'm going to stick it up here as far as it'll go.
Get scratching.
All right, guys. So we got the mat installed. I think it's gonna do pretty well. If you do like the tap test, where you tap on things, it does sound a lot more solid, a lot less tinny or echoey, really. So we'll see how it works. So now what we have to do is get the interior back in. So I'll do that real quick, and then we'll be right back, and we'll go for a test drive. So, okay, so here we are. We're back at the same road again. We're gonna go 50 miles an hour, and then we're gonna pull up the app on the phone and see if it changes anything. So here we go. So we're bouncing between 69 and 70 is the average. I'll say that helped, definitely. It definitely sounds quieter in here. It sounds more solid, if that's a thing. Anyway, let's go back and wrap this up. Alright guys, so we came back from the ride, and as you can see, it looks like before we had about 73 to 75 decibels around there somewhere, and when we got back, after we did the install, we're around 69 to 70 decibels. So there's definitely a decrease there. How much it actually decreased, I don't know, because we're just using the phone. So that's just a rough estimate. It's not very scientific. But to my ear, I can definitely tell you it does sound like it got quieter. I don't hear the engine as much, so it's not as tractor-y on the inside. And the other thing I don't hear as much is the tires. I specifically went and put some on the back wheel wells, because there really is nothing between the back wheel well and you, and it's just one piece of metal. So you put something there, and it really helps dampen that sound out. I might actually go and put more on there just to help pull it out more, because I do have an entire sheet left. So 36 square feet is what I purchased, more than enough to do the front and the wheel wells of a TJ. If you have a little bit bigger, you could probably get away with just doing the front, something like a JK maybe, or I don't know how big a JL is now, but maybe you could get away with the front of that with a 36 square foot package. If you want to do the entire Jeep, I would probably say 50 square feet would be the optimal amount. And really, the only other thing I could think we could do is put a headliner in to try and dampen some of the wind noise in there, which we may do in the future. Just depending. So we'll see how this works for a while. Anyway, guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you like what's going on the channel, hit subscribe down below. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day.